at stage 3, paragraph page 149. Okay, and our last word was American, new word type of lesson. Okay, so let's start with our revision. Ready?
Okay.
Here we go. First question. How many fingers have I got on both hands? How many fingers have I got on both hands? You've got 8
You've
fingers
got 8
on both
fingers
hands.
on
On
your
both
both hand.
hands. How
On
many
both hand.
fingers have I got on each hand? How many fingers have I got on each hand? You've got 4
You've got
fingers
4
on
fingers
each
on
hand.
each hand.
Have we each got 2 eyes? Have we each got 2 eyes? Yes, we've each
Yes,
got 2 eyes. We've each got
we've each got
2
2
eyes.
eyes.
Do we say each student have a book or each student has a book? Do we say each student have a book or each student has a book? We say each
We say
student
each
has a book.
student has a book
Why? Why? Because the word
because
each
the word
is
each
singular.
is singular.
Has each student got 2 heads? Has each student got 2 heads? No. Each
No,
student
each student
hasn't got 2 heads.
hasn't got 2 heads.
Each student's
Each
only
student
got 1 head.
only got 1 head.
Has each chair only got 3 legs? Has each chair only got 3 legs? No. Each
No,
chair hasn't
each
only
chair
got
hasn't only got
3 legs.
3
Each
legs.
chair's
Each
got 4
chair's
legs.
got 4 legs.
Very good. Okay, next. Do you like vegetables? Do you like vegetables? Yes or no?
Yes,
I like
I like
vegetables.
vegetable.
Do you like all vegetables? Do you like all vegetables? Yes or no?
No, I
I don't.
don't all
I don't like all
vegetable.
vegetables.
I
Some
don't like all
some I
vegetables.
like
Some
and
I
some
like
I
and
dislike.
some I dislike.
Very good. Name me 4 vegetables. Name me 4 vegetables, please. The names of
The
4
names of
vegetables
4
are
vegetables
potatoes,
are
carrots,
potatoes,
onions,
carrot,
and peas.
onions, and peas.
Name me 4 kinds of fruit. Name me 4 kinds of fruit, please. The names of
The
4
names
kinds
of
of
4
fruit
kind of fruit
are apples,
are apples,
oranges, lemons, and
oranges,
bananas.
lemons, and bananas.
Greg, which do you prefer, tomato juice or orange juice? Which do you prefer, tomato juice or orange juice? I prefer.
I prefer tomato juice to orange juice.
Very good. What's the plural of tomato? What's the plural of tomato? The plural
The
of
plural of
tomato
tomato
is
is
tomatoes. Very,
tomatoes.
very good. Do you study Spanish? Do you study Spanish? No, I don't
No, I
study
don't study
Spanish. I
Spanish.
study
I
English.
study English.
Do most school children like studying? Do most school children like studying? No, most
No,
school
most
children don't.
school
School
children
children
don't school children
don't like
don't like
studying.
studying.
They dislike or
They
hate
dislike or
studying.
hate studying.
Must you study a lot if you want to learn a language well? Must you study a lot if you want to learn a language well? Yes, I must
Yes,
study
I
a lot
must study
if
a
I want
lot
to learn
if I
a
want to
language
learn
well.
a language well.
Very good. What time do you arrive here for your lesson? What time do you arrive here for your lesson? I arrive here
I
at
arrive here at 10 a.m.
for my lesson.
for for my lesson.
Very good. Are you the first to arrive in the classroom? Are you the first to arrive in the classroom? Yes or no?
No, I
I'm
don't.
not. I'm not the first
I'm not first
to arrive in the
to
classroom.
arrive in the classroom.
Very good. What time do you leave here after the lesson? What time do you leave here after the lesson? I leave here at,
I'll leave here at
let's say,
10:30
after the lesson.
after the lesson.
Wait, what time do you leave home to come here? What time do you leave home to come here? I leave home at
I leave
about
home at about 10 a.m.
to come here.
to come here.
Do you leave your books in the classroom after the lesson? Do you leave your books in the classroom after the lesson? No, I don't
No,
leave
I
my
don't leave
books in the
my
classroom
books in the
after the
classroom
lesson.
after the lesson.
I take them with me.
I take them with me. With me.
Wege, do you leave any food on your plate after a meal? Do you leave any food on your plate after a meal? Yes or no?
No, I
I don't
don't leave
any
any
food
food
on my plate
on my plate
after a meal.
after the meal.
Very good. Okay, next. What can we see in the sky during the day? What can we see in the sky during the day? We can see the sun
We can see
in
the
the
sun
sky, in the
in the
sky
sky
during the day.
during the day.
Wait, what colors the sun? What colors the sun? The sun's
The
the
sun's
color
gold.
of gold.
Uh,
More, the
the sun's
sun's the color of gold.
color of gold.
Very good. Okay, next, what colors the sky today? What colors the sky today? The skies
The sky.
blue
The
today.
sky's blue today.
Very good. Okay, do you live on the sea? Do you live on the sea? No, I don't
No,
live on the
I don't
sea.
live on the
I
sea.
live on the
I
land.
live on the land.
Well, what's the name of the sea between Europe and North Africa? What's the name of the sea between Europe and North Africa? The name
The name
of the
of the
sea
sea
between Europe
between
and North
Europe
Africa
and North
is
Africa
the Mediterranean
is
Sea.
Mediterranean, is
Mediterranean Sea.
Mediterranean Sea.
Very good. Is Moscow by the sea? Is Moscow by the sea? No,
No,
Moscow isn't by the
Moscow
sea.
isn't by the sea.
It's inland.
It's inland.
Very good. Is New York inland? Is New York inland? No, New
No,
York isn't
New
inland.
York isn't
It's
inland.
by the sea.
It's by the sea.
Very good. Next. Yeah, let's open this. Okay, what's this? What's this? It's one's five
It's once five
equals five.
equals to five.
Very good. What's this? What's this? It's two times
It's
five.
two, tw-
Two times
two times five,
equals
five.
10.
10 equals 10.
What's this? What's this? It's three times five
It's 3 times 5
equals
equals to
15.
15.
What's this? What's this? It's four times five
It's 4
times
times 5
equals
equals
20.
to 20.
Very good. Okay, how much is one's 90? How much is one's 90? One's 90
Once 90
equals 90.
equals to 90.
How much is twice 50? How much is twice 50? Twice 50
That twice 50
is
equals to 100.
very good. How much is 3 times 13? How much is 3 times 13? 3 times 13
3 times 13
is
equals
13.
to 39.
Right? How many times a week do you come here? How many times a week do you come here? I come here
I come here about I
about
come here ti-
4 times. I come here
four
4 times a
I
week.
come here 4 times a week.
Very good. Okay, how many times a month do you go to the cinema? How many times a month do you go to the cinema? I go to the
I
cinema
go to the cinema
about
once a month.
once a
About
month.
once a month.
How many times a day do you eat? How many times a day do you eat? I eat
I eat 3 times
a
a
day.
day.
Very good. Okay, next, how many times do we live? How many times do we live? We live
We
only
live
once.
only once.
Very good. Okay, next, what am I doing? What am I doing? You're cutting the
You
book
are cutting the book
with your finger.
with your finger.
What do we cut meat with? What do we cut meat with? We cut meat
We cut
with a
meat
knife.
with a knife.
Can we cut bread without a knife? Can we cut bread without a knife? No, we can't
No,
cut
we
bread
can't cut bread
without a knife.
without knife.
Very good. Okay, next. What am I doing? What am I doing? You're lifting the book.
You're lifting the book.
Can you lift the table with your little finger? Can you lift the table with your little finger? No, I can't
No,
lift the
I
table.
can't
Lift the
lift the
table
table
with my
with my
little
little
finger.
finger
Very good. Why not? Why not? Because it's too heavy
because it's
for
too
me to
heavy
lift.
for me to lift.
Very good. Is this piece of paper light enough for you to lift? Is this piece of paper light enough for you to lift? Yes. That piece
Yes,
of paper
that piece of
is
paper
light enough
is light
for me
enough
to
to
lift.
lift.
For
For me
me.
to lift.
Very good. Okay, next. Is the table as high as the door? Is the table as high as the door? No. The
No,
table isn't
the table isn't
as high as the
as
door.
high as the door.
It's lower than the door.
It's lower than the door.
Where is your building as high as Mount Everest? Is your building as high as Mount Everest? No. My
No,
building isn't
my building
as
isn't
high
as
as
high as
Mount Everest.
Mount Everest.
It's lower than Mount
It's lower
Everest.
than Mount
Everest.
Everest.
Right? Is the river Thames as long as the Nile? Is the river Thames as long as the Nile? No. The
No,
river Thames
the rivers
isn't the river
isn't
Thames
the river things
isn't as long as
isn't
the
as
Nile.
long as the Nile.
It's shorter than the Nile.
It's shorter than the Nile.
Is Spain as large as South America? Is Spain as large as South America? No. Spain
No,
isn't
Spain isn't
as large as
as
South
large
America.
as South
It's
America.
smaller than South
It's
America.
smaller than the South America.
Very good. Tell me the names of the four seasons of the year. Tell me the names of the four seasons of the year, please. The names
The
of the four
names of
seasons
four
of
seasons
the year
of
are.
the year
I,
are.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So we overshoot. So that's Newark already. Okay. So
Oh, okay.
that's the end of our revision. Let's have Newark. Okay. Repeat. Season.
A pigeon,
Season.
pigeon,
Spring.
spring,
Summer.
summer,
Autumn.
autumn,
Winter.
winter.
Very good. Okay. Listen. The names of the four seasons of the year are spring, summer, autumn, and winter. We are in winter now, right? Okay, let's practice. Tell me the names of the four seasons of the year. Tell me the names of the four seasons of the year, please. The names
The
of the
names
four
of the
seasons
four
of
seasons
the year are
of the year are
spring,
spring,
summer,
summer,
autumn, and winter.
autumn, and winter.
What season are we in now? What season are we in now? We're in
What in
winter
winter?
now. Very
Winter
good.
now.
What was last season? What was last season? Last season
The last season was
was.
autumn.
What will next season be? What will next season be? Next season will
Next
be
season will be
spring.
spring.
Very good. Next, repeat. Proceed.
Proceed,
Follow.
follow,
Very good. Okay, listen. Proceed and follow are verbs. To proceed mean to go before something or someone. Follow is the opposite of proceed. For example, Tuesday precedes Wednesday. Thursday follows Wednesday. Let's practice. Which day precedes Wednesday? Which day precedes Wednesday? Tuesday precedes
Tuesday,
Wednesday.
received Wednesday.
Does Thursday precedes Wednesday? Does Thursday precedes Wednesday? No.
No,
Thursday
the
doesn't
Thursday
precede Wednesday.
doesn't precede Wednesday.
It follows it.
It's followed
Which number follows the number 13? Which number follows the number 13? 14 follows
40,
the number
follows the
13.
number of 13.
Very good. Do the students precede the teacher out of the classroom after the lesson? Do the students precede the teacher out of the classroom after the lesson? No. The
No,
students
the
don't
student
precede
don't
the teacher
proceed
out of
the
the classroom
teacher of the
out
classroom
after the
out
lesson.
out of
One
out
more.
of the classroom after
Af-
the lesson.
they follow him.
They follow him.
Very good. Does the teacher precede the students into the classroom before the lesson? Does the teacher precede the students into the classroom before the lesson? No. The
No,
teacher
the
doesn't
teacher
precede
doesn't
the
proceed
students
the
into
student
the classroom
into classroom
before the
before the
lesson. He
lesson.
follows them.
He follows them.
Very good. Next, repeat. When.
When
Very good. Okay, listen. The word when is an adverb. We use it to ask about time. For example, we can say, what time do you have your breakfast? Or we can say, when do you have your breakfast? And then a possible answers, I have my breakfast at about 6 o'clock in the morning. Okay, let's practice. When do you have your breakfast? When do you have your breakfast? I have my breakfast
I have
at
my breakfast at
what time?
I have my breakfast at 9 a.m.
9 a.m. Very good. When does the lesson begin? When does the lesson begin? The lesson
The
begins
lesson began
at
10 a.m.
at
at 10
10 a.m.
a.m.
Very good. When do you get up in the morning? When do you get up in the morning? I get up at
I get up at 8 a.m.
very good. 8 a.m. Next. Repeat while.
while
Whilst.
whilst
Very good. Okay, listen. The word while and whilst are conjunction. So conjunction means they connect two sentences together. We can use while and whilst instead of whereas. So while, whilst, and whereas have the same meaning, but we generally use whereas the most when we speak. Whereas is more common. Let's practice. What other words can we use instead of whereas? What other words can we use instead of whereas? We can use
We can
while
use
and
while
whilst
and whilst
instead of whereas.
instead of whereas.
Which word do we use the most when we speak? Which word do we use the most when we speak? We generally use
We generally
whereas
use
the most
whereas the
when we
most
speak.
when we speak.
Very good. Next, repeat. Old,
Old,
new.
new,
Very good. Listen. Old and new are both adjectives. They're describing words. For example, I bought this pen last year. This pen is old. This is an old building I'm in at the moment. New is the opposite of old. For example, I bought this book yesterday. This book is new, but it looks old. Okay, very good. Let's practice. Is that an old building you're in at the moment? Is that an old building you're in at the moment? Yes or no?
yes.
This
The,
is an old
this
building
is an old building
I'm in at the
I,
moment.
I'm in at the moment.
Are your shoes new? Are your shoes new? Yes or no?
No,
My
my
shoes
shoes
aren't
isn't
new. Aren't new.
aren't new.
They're old.
They're old,
Very good. Next, repeat. Older than.
older than,
Newer than.
newer than.
Very good. Okay, listen. Older than is the comparative of old. For example, this pen is older than this book. Newer than is the opposite of older than. For example, this book is newer than this pen. Okay, let's practice. Is your shirt older than your shoes? Is your shirt older than your shoes? No, my shirt
No, my
isn't
shirt
older
isn't
than my
older than
shoes.
my
It's
shoes.
newer than my
It's
shoes.
newer than my shoes.
Very good. Next, repeat. The oldest.
The oldest,
The newest.
the newest.
Very good. Okay. The oldest is the superlative of old. Means very old. For example, so this pencil is older than this pen. Okay. And this pen is older than this book. So this pencil is the oldest thing I have in my hand. The newest is the opposite of the oldest. For example, this this pen is newer than this pencil, but this book is newer than this pen. So this book is the newest thing I have in my hand. Let's practice. What's the newest thing you're wearing? What's the newest thing you're wearing? My
My t-shirt is
is
the
the
newest thing
I'm
I'm wearing.
very good. Okay, next repeat. Old,
Old,
young.
young,
One more. Young.
young.
Very good. Okay, listen. Old and young are both adjectives. Okay, we generally use old and new for things, whereas we generally use old and young for people and animals. For example, Anna Brown isn't an old woman. She's a young girl. Okay, let's practice. What's the difference between new and young? What's the difference between new and young? The difference between
The difference
new
between
and
new
young is
and
that
young
we use
is
new
that we
for
use new
things,
for things,
whereas we use
whereas
young
we use
for
young
people.
for people.
Very good. Is Miss Brown an old woman? Is Miss Brown an old woman? No. Miss
No,
Brown
Miss
isn't
Brown
an old
isn't
woman.
an old woman.
She's a young girl.
She's a young girl.
Very good. Okay, so now let's move on to reading. Very good. Okay, so our reading is at stage 2, paragraph page 116. Our last headword was stomach. Okay, please start at page 117, headword stomach. 117.